January 26th. Edward Law.
Welcome to 365 Christian Men, where every day we aim to inspire and encourage with real-life stories about men.
Ed had a hard life, and it kept getting worse. The day came when Ed got desperate for his life to change, and he found a way out. Here is his story.
Be brave enough to ask for help and caring enough to give it. Ed Law sat with a loaded rifle pointed at himself, his finger on the trigger. His self-described crazy, stupid, and wild life was about to end. Ed felt like this was his only way out. He was miserable, and he was finally going to escape. He felt out of breath, as if he had been running, not just slumped in a chair drinking. Running away like a scared kid. He had been scared all of his childhood. He called it growing up hard, but really, it was growing up scared. Now he was scared again, scared and embarrassed and ashamed. Asking anyone for help with his stupid life would expose him for the failure he was. But he was starting to wonder if giving up on his life hurt his pride just as much as admitting that he needed help. What if there was a better way than running away from the shame and the problems his wild life had caused? What if there was a better way he was missing out on? With the words "a better way" still running through his mind, Ed reached for another drink. Those words seemed familiar. He tried to think of what the rest of the words were. Something about Jesus having a better way of life. In that moment, Ed remembered that the man he was buying a house from was some sort of Bible preacher. A guy like that might be able to help him. Ed took a deep breath and put the gun aside. Shaking, he stood up and gathered himself. He was going to give this a try. It was a little past 3 a.m. when Ed pounded on Joe Thomas's front door. Joe had met Ed a few days earlier when Ed submitted an offer to buy Joe's house. Joe had accepted Ed's offer. Now, Joe peeked out the door, and he looked a little bit scared. "Mr. Law?" Joe said. "Yep, that's me. I'm the guy buying this house." Ed knew his words were slurred. "You gotta help me, man. Hey, what's the rest of that verse?" Ed leaned in. "You must know, you're a preacher, right?" Joe said, "Well, not exactly." Ed kept talking. "The verse is something like, 'A better way,' or 'He is the life.'" "Joe, I'm done with my life. I'm either going to end it or I'm getting a new one." Now, Joe heard the panic in the man's voice. Despite his own nervousness, Joe opened the door and asked Ed to sit at the kitchen table. Joe opened a Bible to John 14:6, and he told Ed, "I'm pretty sure you're talking about this verse." Jesus answered, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." Joe read some other verses to help explain the new life that Jesus offers. Now, completely sober, Ed looked at Joe. "I want this. I'm ready for the life Jesus can give me." Years later, Ed told that story and shook his head. He had almost missed out on that better way. But he had found hope, forgiveness, and a new life because he had made the decision to go find Joe. Ed's new life in Christ is not free of problems, but now he has God's strength and the support of other believers to help him face the problems. Ed now extends help to other people who struggle, just like Joe helped him. Ed's advice is always the same. Stop running, get help, talk to somebody, and get Jesus into your life. He is the better way. Psalm 71 says, "O Lord, I have come to you for protection. Don't let me be disgraced. Save me and rescue me, for you do what is right. Turn your ear to listen to me and set me free. My life is an example to many, because you have been my strength and protection." What problems or habits are overwhelming your life? Talk to someone. Is someone asking you for help? How can you be available to them? Be brave enough to ask for help and be caring enough to give it.
Hey friends, I'm Jason Webb and today is January 26th. Today's story is a heavy one, but it's also a hopeful one. What stayed with me about Edward Law's story wasn't just how things got when they got really low. It was the moment he stopped running. He reached a place where pretending, numbing, and hiding weren't working anymore. And in that moment, he had a choice. Keep running or ask for help. That takes courage. So many people carry shame quietly. They convince themselves that asking for help means they failed. But Edward discovered something powerful, that admitting you need help isn't weakness. It's the beginning of healing. And the other side of this story matters just as much. Joe didn't have all the answers. He wasn't ready for the moment. He was just willing to open the door, sit at the table, and point someone to Jesus. And that's what God used. So here's the challenge I want to leave with you today. Is there an area of your life where you've been running instead of reaching out? What would it look like to talk to someone, to ask for help, rather than carry it alone? And on the other side of that question, is there someone around you right now who may be struggling quietly? How can you be present for them? Not to fix them, but to listen, care, and point them toward hope. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Not just for somebody, but for right now. Edward found a better way because he was brave enough to ask for help, and because someone else was caring enough to give it. Let's be people who do both. If today's story stirred something in you, I encourage you to check out more stories at 365christianmen.com. You're not alone in this journey, and you don't have to figure it out by yourself. Thanks for watching. Remember this, stop running, reach out, and remember there is always a better way.
Before we go, quick note, we're launching a women's storytelling channel in January. Same style as this, just from a woman's perspective. If you know someone in your life who'd enjoy these stories, it's linked in the bio.